Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Right, so today's idea of this video is that we are going to we're going to source and build an extreme budget PC, sub £100, that will allow us to play AAA games. No, I'm not on crystal meth. Stick around and find out how we do it. So I was contacted by a customer today at the time of filming, asking me for a computer that could just be used, say, for rainy days. That'll run Minecraft, do a little bit of editing. So when I asked him his budget, he replied with £100, and I was like, okay. I haven't really got anything in that price range, £100. So I recommended searching through Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree. If you're in America, then you would be looking on Craigslist. What I recommended for him was to find possibly like a Dell Optiplex or something similar, quite cheap, and then get a graphics card that'll fit into the Dell Optiplex, which doesn't require any external power, to be able to run Minecraft and do his little bit of editing that he wanted to do. So this got me thinking, if I've got £100 to spend, and this is not for a monitor, no monitors, keyboard and mouse or anything like that, we're assuming we've got a monitor, we've got a keyboard, we've got a mouse. So we only want to spend, it's about $127. Let's say, right. So our budget, right? If we've only got £100 or say $130-ish to spend, what kind of system can we get? And that's just for the tower. That's not for a keyboard, a mouse, or a monitor, or anything like that. We're assuming we've already got this stuff. But let's say, for example, our current PC is blown up. It's completely bust. And we need to replace the parts and get this system up and running for as cheap as we possibly can. So then I thought, everybody's going on about GeForce now, the streaming service from Nvidia. So I thought, well, let's have a look and see what we actually need to run GeForce Now on a Windows PC. So this states we need a 64-bit version of Windows 7 or newer. Well, we know Windows 7 is out of support, so we're going to go Windows 8 or Windows 10. We'll most likely go 10. They don't support 32-bit versions of Windows, so it's going to have to be 64-bit. Requires an internet connection of at least 15 megabits per second for 720p at 60 frames, 25 for 1080 at 60 frames. Hardwired connection is best in this instance. They go on to talk about keyboards and mouse. Most built-in USB keyboards and mice work fine. They recommend a gaming mouse. Logitech and Razer have many different options. Way to push Logitech and Razer. You know, any mouse is going to do, really. I doubt that the input latency will be much different. I don't think you'll notice. Gamepads, you can use Sony DualShock 4 controllers, Logitech gamepads, or an Xbox 360, Xbox One controllers wired. So, hardware requirements. So, you need a minimum of a dual core processor with 2 gigahertz or faster, 4 gigs of RAM. You need a graphics card that supports at least DirectX 11, which could be basically an NVIDIA 600 series or newer, a Radeon HD 3000 series or newer, or Intel HD Graphics 2000 or newer. So I'm looking on Facebook Marketplace. Let's have a look for an Optiplex close to me. Right. So we've got one for £30, £25, £35. There's a Dell PC here. No RAM. Intel Core 2 Duo. So this 390 comes with an i5 processor for £70. That's not too bad, to be fair. You know, I was thinking something a little bit less, because we've got to get a graphics card in that as well. But that comes with everything you need. For £70, you just need a graphics card. I'm thinking we should go for an SSD over a hard drive to help speed up loading times and boot times and things. So an i5, yes, would be nice, but we don't know what i5 it is. It could be a first generation i5. So there's some options here. I mean, we've got this one, which is from an actual business. Let's have a look at this one. This one has an i3 2120, 8 gigs of DDR3, a 500 gig SSD, and a GT 730. However, this is coming in at $139. So that's more than I actually want to spend. So then it got me thinking, what's the cheapest sort of i3 we can get? So a lot of these optiplexes that I looked at, they were running like an E8500, which is like Core 2 Duo processors, and that's not really going to cut the mustard for me. So then I thought, right, what about something like an i3? And then that took me on to CEX. Now, everything you buy with CEX comes with 24 months warranty. So we can buy an i3 for £3, 32.20 for £3. That is a dual core 4-thread CPU with 3.3 gigahertz. It supports up to 32 gigs of memory. Has Intel HD 2500 graphics. So that would be actually fine for GeForce Now. But ideally, I want a dedicated graphics card. What about a motherboard? Can we get a cheap enough motherboard? That took me onto eBay. I was searching for an 1155 socket motherboard with a backplate. Had a look through a couple of listings. There was some cheaper ones here. See if it lets us go back. Starting from like $9.49, but obviously there's some proprietary ones. There is some ones with 24-pin connectors and things, but just the layout and the configuration is a little bit iffy for my liking. So, I mean, there was like this one, but it doesn't have a back plate. It's kind of like the wrong way around from what we really want. And then I found this one, which comes with a back plate and has the 24-pin connector. It's got a PCIe 6x16 slot. Got some SATA connections. 2 DIMM slots. That's okay. That's fine. We can live with that. It's an HP board. Let's just hope that it doesn't require specific memory. It's an M80X board, so it should fit in a case no problem. The case I chose was this one here, which is a mid-tower case. It supports an ATX board. It's got grill on mesh on the front, so good airflow. It doesn't come with any fans, but I have got a couple of second-hand like fans on the shelf that I could throw in. $18.99 for this, so not too bad. So the motherboard, say 15 quid. It was 14.50, but we'll say 15. Memory then. So we've got a couple of choices here because the system requirements are 4 gig. Now, as I'm looking through here, I've got 2 gig sticks, 1333 megahertz, for £1.50. So we could get 2 of them, and we could have 4 gigs of DDR3 memory, 1333 megahertz. So that would cost me £3. However, I looked a bit further down, and as this board and processor both support 1600 megahertz memory, I found this one, which is a 4 gig stick and is £6. So we could get 2 4 gig sticks of 16 megahertz DDR3 for £12. So that's what I've put down there. That's not too bad if you ask me. Graphics card, well, I was looking for some reasonably priced graphics cards. I was thinking maybe a GT 710 or something along those lines, just something really, really cheap, but I couldn't really find one cheap enough. This led me on to the NVIDIA GeForce GT 630 2 gig, and that is priced at £22. So this doesn't require any external power. It has active cooling rather than passive cooling. It has a DVI-I dual link. It has a VGA port, and it has an HDMI. It supports DirectX 11. So, you know, we should be good to go with this graphics card, and it's local to me. It's in stock locally. Like I said, I want an SSD, and I want something that's in stock close to me. I bet you I kind of find it now. So the one that was in stock close to me was this one here. It's a Kingston HyperX Fury 120 gig 2.5 inch SATA drive, £15. You know what? It's an SSD. It's going to run a lot faster than a hard drive. It's going to do the job we need it to do. £15. Can't believe that. And then I priced up like just a second-hand power supply, reasonably looking one from a branded name. Will be tested before I actually put it in the system. £10 from Facebook Marketplace. So that brings our total up to £96. Like I say, if we put a couple of cheap fans in there, the only issue I've got here is that the processor most likely won't come with a heatsink. So you may, heatsink and fan, you may find yourself having to purchase a cooler for the processor, but I'm pretty sure. Let's put in LG 1155 cooler. Yep, that worked. Right, what about heatsink? I mean, there's one there for £5. It's a branded Intel one. There's one there for £3, which is an aftermarket one. So choices are there, you know. So that's it for me for now, until I've got all of this stuff in. Once I've got all of the stuff in stock, then I'll carry on this video. Stick around, don't go anywhere, and hopefully we'll get this sub £100 PC up and running.